Yes, people. It is officially game announcement week. Yes, the week that was traditionally E3. And just this week, we've had the Summer Games Fest. We've had the Xbox Showcase. And just a little while ago, we had Ubisoft Forward. So many games to talk about. So, hey, it's Monday. It's the Monday Game Chat. Why don't we talk about it? Roll the credits.
It's the Monday Game Chat with your host, Clive Illenden.
Yokoso. Welcome to the Monday Game Chat. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. And why wouldn't I be back with so many games being announced, especially at the Xbox Games Showcase 2024. A lot of eyes were on Xbox. Considering there was the general feeling is that there was a bit of a lackluster PlayStation state of play. But let me know what you think. I mean, I'm not that big into the PlayStation games, but I got the sense generally that overall it was a reasonably disappointing state of play for PlayStation. All eyes on Xbox, especially considering Xbox has had a bit of bad press, really. A lot of sort of nonsense on Twitter and social media and, you know, dubious Xbox commentators and all that kind of stuff. It's not been a great rosy picture for Xbox in the last kind of couple of months, I'd say. So, yeah, a lot was resting on Xbox Games Showcase. So did they pull it off? Let me know down in the comments below and all of that. I mean, I would say the consensus is that they did. And I'll show you a few examples and a few quotes from, the press and stuff sort of outlining this. But anyway, also, as ever, welcome. Formalities. Remember to hit the likes because I like it. YouTube likes it and it helps people like you find content just like this. And if you're new to my channel, then hey, domo arigato. Please hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with the Monday Game Chat and other stuff like that. And as ever, get involved in the chat. It is the Monday Game Chat after all. It's Monday, you're the chat, we're talking game. So do your bit, get into the chat, say hello, let me know what games you've been playing this week, what's been occupying your time game-wise. And as ever, also, as mentioned, let me know the games that you're particularly excited about that were announced at either the Summer Games Fest, the PlayStation State of Play, and the Xbox Showcase, and of course Ubisoft Forward and all of that. Quick shout out to everybody in the chat. We've got Al Davis, as ever. Good to see you, Al, there. I hit the like button because he's wise, yeah, in advance, as I know it'll be a corker of a show. Ooh, pressure. Thank you very much. And Struggle Boxing, good to see you, sir. Always welcome in the chat. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, the games. Just take a look. Look at these beauties. So obviously, we'll talk about all of these, but which one of these are you particularly excited about? As well as just the games, let me know your thoughts on the various game showcases in general as well. Put that in the chat. But here we go. We're obviously Call of Duty Black Ops 6, as expected, coming day one straight to Game Pass. And before anybody asks, no, I don't know whether that'll be on cloud, because that'll be down to Ubisoft ultimately, won't it? Because they have the cloud rights to Activision Blizzard games. But Call of Duty, day one, Xbox Game Pass. This is massive. This was even featured, I noticed, on the BBC News. When gaming news sort of breaks through to the mainstream news, you know that it's significant. Although you could tell that the news host was pretty ill-informed in the way that he described that now everyone has to pay a monthly subscription to play Call of Duty. And I just thought, no, that's not quite right, is it? You can still buy it. And what you're actually buying a monthly subscription to is Game Pass. So it's better to say it's been included in a subscription. Anyway, I'm very excited about that because, to be honest, while I play Call of Duty Warzone now and then, I've never really been bothered to want to shell out 60, 70 odd quid for the campaigns. Because I'm a cheapskate like that. Well, finally, my long-term investment in Xbox Game Pass has paid off. And I am looking forward to delving into my first genuine Call of Duty campaign. Can you believe it? But I'm certainly, it's a great opportunity if you've never played a Call of Duty campaign to experience what is considered, the top end of gaming in terms of budgets and stuff like that. The other great title, of course, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. We saw some more story elements there, but also some gameplay. And even my beautiful partner was like blown away. She goes, "Oh my gosh, they've spent a lot of money on this." Look, because you've got your Harrison Ford, kind of character. And it's got that kind of Tomb Raider-esque sort of gameplay style. That's the thing about these. When you see these, and Ubisoft are terrible at this, actually, when it comes to this. I want to know what the game mechanics are. What does the game actually look like? For all the wonderful, amazing cinematics, that's great. I want to get the feel of it, especially if it's a very story-driven movie-type game like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. But I actually want to know what the gameplay is like. It looked great. The music seems on par. The style seems on par. And the gameplay looks great. So definitely looking forward to that. No date for it yet, although I believe it's rumoured to be for fall 2024. But they've not committed. I don't think they've committed an actual date, but I think the word on the street is we'll expect to see that fall 2024. Call of Duty, we do have a date, of course. And I can't remember off the top of my head when it is. But Indiana Jones, we don't. The other one, of course, Gears of War, E-Day. Now, there's been lots of rumours that there was going to be a Gears of War announcement. And, hey, it seems those rumours were true. There are a couple of big rumours about this, one of which didn't come true. And in fact, it's amazing. If you keep the receipts of various people, respected journos, not just sort of so-called game commentators who said, I've got a mate who knows a mate, but actual game journos in Forbes, were pretty certain an Xbox handheld was going to be announced. So I said, this is not some sort of cowboy gaming media outlet. This is Forbes. They were pretty certain that a handheld was going to be announced. But no, it was just updated hardware, repackaged versions of the Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X that were announced. But Phil Spencer, in an interview following the showcase with IGN, did state that he's still very keen on the idea of an Xbox handheld. So could we see further announcement later in the year? Because if you're going to launch it, you want to launch it in time for the Christmas holidays, don't you? Or the Thanksgiving holidays. I would have thought. Don't know. But lots of people super excited about Gears of War E-Day. I'm a fan of Gears of War, and I know I'm not a massive fan, but I'm a fan, and I know lots of people super excited to see that Gears of War, and it seems that it was mostly sort of cinematic, early doors. It's not coming out till next year, but apparently the cinematic was made from the game engine. Just to clarify that, and we'll see clips of that in a bit. In fact, why don't we do that now, just to refresh ourselves while I talk about some of these. Let's just play this. Make sure the sound's not on. Again, just to sort of remind ourselves of the games in play. So obviously Microsoft Flight Simulator. Can't remember which on that one. Of course, Doom. Yes. Kind of we knew about that. More Sea of Thieves. Not really a new announcement, just a new season. Indiana Jones, of course. Avowed. Perfect Dark now. I love Perfect Dark. It was sort of, it gave you a fix after GoldenEye. Yeah, because obviously they didn't do another James Bond after that. Rare. So they came up with their own spy thing with Perfect Dark, didn't they? So that's quite exciting. Hey, Francisco Suarez. I was hoping this would be on when I was watching the event on Sunday. Yes, I was going to do a live watch along, but I was busy. What was I doing? I was busy. Whatever I was doing, probably DIY or something. I'm blitzing my furniture, so I was getting it ready for pickup today by the charity. We're going to come over, take all my living room furniture because I'm starting afresh. So I was prepping for that. So unfortunately, I couldn't. Suarez, so apologies, but that's what we do now. We're going to wrap it up. We've had a day to digest it all and all of that. Diablo, Doom, yes, of course, said that. Assassin's Creed, and we'll talk more about Assassin's Creed when we look at Ubisoft. State of Decay 3, Atomfall, that looks interesting. Stalker 2. I do love Stalker 2. Obviously, it's Ukrainian developers, and I love the style that you get with Ukrainian developers, like your Metro Exodus type stuff, and Stalker 2's got all of that kind of element to it. Of course, this was the one more thing. Age of Mythology. This looked really weird, and what I liked about this. And we'll come to it as well, but this South of Midnight, was it? Something like that. South of Midnight. It's got a kind of almost like I want to say like a stop frame animation style. Yeah, it's slightly juttery, but on purpose in that kind of, it looks like it's been handcrafted. Really nice style. We're just you'll see what I mean when South of Midnight. See that kind of almost stuttered as she goes across. Flight Simulator. That looked weird. Was it Frag? What's it called now? Where you basically have a card. And you can play the card. So it's like a 5v5 shoot 'em up, PvP, but you have cards which give you special powers. And then you play the cards. I don't know, it turns the world upside down or something like that. Crazy. Mixtape. Now, the mixtape was interesting because I wasn't sure exactly what the gameplay was. What was the point of it? Despite the fact it had really cool 90s music in it. Winterborough, cutesy. Oh, I'm with you, Suarez. Still, I was planning to do one last night, but yeah. Oh, I'm glad you're here, and that's, as I say, that's what we're doing. Oh yes, Metal Gear Solid, which we'll come to. And of course, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Straight to Game Pass. Chance to play the campaign if you've never played the campaign. So back to the games. Yeah. So there we go. That's a little kind of a little reminder of the games that they announced there. Now, for me, super excited about, obviously, Call of Duty, opportunity to play the campaign story. Indiana Jones looks super. Gears of War, E-Day, and Doom. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, first 4, back of the net. I'm happy. This is the sort of games that I want to play. Avowed Diablo. I sort of dabble in Diablo, but I'm not a massive fan of it. Microsoft Simulator. Again, my son loves that. World of Warcraft, Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't know, I'm a bit bored of Assassin's Creed. Stalker 2, definitely. Super excited about that. I'll definitely be playing that. Age of Mythology, not my cup of tea. Strategy games. Fable, defo, absolutely. Mixtape, still not sure exactly what it is. Perfect Dark, put me down. Expedition 33. I'm curious, sir. I'm curious. French game by looks of things. So I'll certainly give that one a look. South of Midnight, definitely sort of a puzzle platformer type story game, driven game with really interesting art style. As I said, it looks like it's sort of handcrafted stop frame animation. Really nice. The DLC for Starfield, Shattered Space, looks very interesting. State of Decay 3. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Yeah, I'm going to give that one a look. Elder Scrolls, I dabble in it a bit. Never used to play it, but since I managed to get a copy on GeForce Now Ultimate, and so I have been playing it now and then. Metal Gear Solid. I used to love Metal Gear Solid on the old PlayStation 2 back in the day. Well, Snake is back, ladies and gentlemen. Fallout 76. Life is Strange. Love the first Life is Strange. I never got round to playing the sort of the sequels, the last couple. Sea of Thieves. I'm always dipping into Sea of Thieves when I'm, bored, but it's so much more stuff in it now than when I used to play. But I still pop in there. Atomfall looked interesting, so definitely give that one a look. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. I don't remember that one. Winterborough, cutesy. Fragpunk looked interesting. That's the one I'm particularly, again, another one I'm interested in. Fragpunk. I just love the gameplay idea. The concept behind it's a little bit different for I think it's a 5v5 PvP. But you have you have cards and you select the card you want to play. So it's a bit like a turn-based card game, but actually it's not turn-based because it's actual PvP happening there and then. You just play the card and then that's like your ultimate. It's just, but the ultimates are quite wild, so it's quite interesting. And Mecha Break for those that love flying around in giant robo suits, Gundam style, yeah. Anyway, so those as I say, the ones I've pinpointed are the ones that appeal to me, the ones that I'm excited about. So definitely going to be giving them checking them out. But let me know in the chat below which ones you want to be checking out. I had a long sub to Game Pass, which comes to an end in 7 days, and was wondering whether to renew and thought I'd wait until the showcase to see if it's worth it. I think I could say tick. Yeah, I don't blame you. Suarez, I do not blame you, sir. Let's have a quick look at the Summer Games Fest. We'll come back and look at the hardware in a minute that was also announced. But Summer Games Fest. Some more Alan Wake 2 DLC. I haven't finished the main Alan Wake 2 yet. But yes, Lego Horizon Adventures. And it looks like as well that it's sort of a co-op play as well, which is how the Lego Star Wars games are, where you play together and you have to work together and stuff like that to get through it. And they've sort of applied it to the Horizon, the world of the Horizon series. It's a playful and light-hearted take on Guerrilla's franchise, coming to PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Designed for two-player action. It supports couch co-op and online play. Now, the thing about... What? I don't want to take to the bloody skies. Bloody ads. Come on. Now, I also remember, so, I think I've talked about this before. Because I was obviously working at Lego when we did Lego Star Wars, the first Lego Star Wars. And I remember the developer introducing the concept of co-op play and two players on screen at the same time, each independently, acting and doing their thing. And of course, your initial thoughts were, how's this going to work? Oh, bloody adverts. Oh, that's because I clicked the wrong thing. How's it going to work? Because, surely if somebody goes off screen, how's the other person interact? It'd be so annoying. The mechanics just won't work because you know what kids are like. One will wander off that way and then the other one will wander off that way and then you'll both be off screen. How does it work? But the developer pointed out that actually what happens is because you can't, if you do that, you can't succeed, you can't progress, you end up working together. So you end up talking to each other and saying, right, you go and do the thing over there. I'll do the thing over here. Right, now come over here and help me with this button, or come over here and help me with this kind of switch. And actually, the very mechanic forces you to play together. Anyway, the point is, it looks like they're applying the same sort of thing here, where you have to work together as two players. I'm sure there'll be a single player version and they'll have, an NPC character that will help you out. But the fun is playing together, where you go, look, I'll go over here, you go over here, this bit. And it's got all those kind of Lego elements that you've come to expect from all the Lego franchises, that games that we see. Here we go, look, playing together. So yeah, it looks a lot of fun. I love those Lego games. I used to love playing them with my kids. Always always a lot of fun. We used to play Lego Marvel as well. Lego Batman. No Room in Hell 2. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Cuff Bust. Choo Choo Charles Cuff Bust. Co-op game will challenge you to escape prison in the form of a cute bear thing. Okay. Obviously Star Wars Outlaws, which we'll come to in the Ubisoft Forward event. Neva. Again, one of these sort of indie style games. Or as my partner says to me, oh, it's one of those games you'll end up crying at, won't it, at the end? Oh, the little character died. Boo-hoo. But it was a bit rude. I said, I'll get into the games, I'll get into them. Civilization 7, Black Myth Wukong, disappointingly not coming to Xbox yet. I believe the developer has come out and said Xbox One will come later, but I think what's happened is that PlayStation Sony has just basically given them a load of money. Here's some money. Optimize it for PlayStation 5. And look, tell you what, while no one's looking, here's some more money. And don't bother with the Xbox version for a while, yeah? Mum's the word. But it'll be available on PC. I remember when this first came out a couple of years ago, the first trailer came out. And, you know, we were all excited. It possibly could end up, could it end up on Stadia? Well, there's the irony. It hasn't even ended up on Xbox yet, as I said. But it looks really, really great. And as I've mentioned before on this channel, I'm a big fan of The Legend of Monkey, for which it is based upon. Not just the TV series from the 80s, the Japanese TV series, if you're in the UK and old enough, used to be on 6 o'clock on a Tuesday or something like that, I think. The Legend of Monkey. But I've also read the original folk tale. I was looking for it there in my bookshelf there. That's what I was doing. Did you get the impression there was a lot of pressure for Phil Spencer on this showcase? I think so. Asgard's Wrath 2. Well, that's already out on VR, and mighty game it is. Only Human, Warhammer Space Marine, Batman Arkham Shadow. Now, this is actually looks amazing, but it's coming, but it's a VR game for the MetaQuest 3. So I'm definitely looking forward to this because it looks really good. But I wonder how it plays. I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, on the MetaQuest 3. I want to see what it didn't really show what it's like. Street Fighter 6, of course, we know about because I talked about it on the GeForce Now weekly. Dragon Ball, Delta Force Ops, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Deer and Boy, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Slitterhead, oh, this spooky game. Nice. Okay, weird. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Killer Bean. Cairn. Wonderstop. Unknown Awakening. And Inotria, The Last Song. The First Descendant. There's loads of games that are at the Summer Games Fest. Among Us, Sonic Shadow Generations, Dune Awakening, The Finals, Honkai, Dark and Darker, Kunitsugame, Path of the Goddess, Skate, Power World updates, more Valorant updates, Phantom Blade. Yeah, loads of interesting games. But the big ones, is old Uncle Phil here in the background. Caseball says, arguably one of the best showcases ever. The king is dead, long live the king. Exactly. I think they made sure. They probably just ignored all the chatter, all the online chatter, and just thought, you know what? People have just got to be patient. We've invested $78 billion in Activision Blizzard. It's going to take a little while to line that all up. But what you're seeing, this is the first proper showcase where you're seeing the fruits of that massive investment. Because now they can go, look at these massive franchises, these massive IP that we now own, that we can choose where we want to put it. And we have chosen strategically to make these games, massive games, like Call of Duty Black Ops 6, day one on Game Pass. This is what the last two years or so has been about. Yeah, the purchase of Activision Blizzard, the purchase of other studios. It's all come together so that they can do big showcases like this with massive IPs and say, yeah, they're coming to Game Pass. Yeah, you know what? We're going to make these ones multi-platform. But I just think people have, had to bide their time. And, and in fairness to them, Microsoft, Xbox have had to sort of get their ducks in a row, as it were. And I think that's what they did with this. I think they finally, all the pieces came together, all the seeds that they planted over the last 2 years have sort of come together. And now you can get a big knock 'em out the park showcase like they did yesterday. That's what I think anyway. Jerome, good to see you, sir. Lot happening in the game world. Indeed, there is a lot happening in the game world. And talk, look, the Tom Warren here, and he's not the only one. I mean, IGN said they actually thought they'd knocked it out the park. Tom says here, definitely the best Xbox game showcase I've seen in years. Caseball says it here, as I said. They listened and focused on games and knocked it out of the park, says Suarez. The general Kareem Jovian says it was a banger. Yeah. So I think the general consensus, the sensible consensus is that, they knocked it out of the park. I mean, as I said, the only thing, I'm with Tom here, only thing missing I was hoping for was an Xbox handheld teaser. Now, the reason for that is, look, as I said here, report from Forbes, as I said, not, Paul Tassie's got stuff wrong before, don't worry about that. But it's a legit site he's writing for, Forbes. Microsoft will debut, and the confidence with which he makes this statement back in 5 days ago. Microsoft will debut handheld Xbox hardware at its games showcase. The confidence that that statement is made. Microsoft will debut handheld Xbox hardware at its game showcase. A new report from a well-known leaker. So, no, as a journalist, do you really want to go with that definitive will? Like, surely Microsoft rumored to debut? Microsoft might debut? But to be so bold to say Microsoft will debut, reading that headline, I think, Paul Tassie's got an insider. He's got somebody literally spoken to somebody at Xbox, one of his contacts at Xbox, and has it on good authority, or Xbox has sort of told him. But no, it's a new report from a well-known leaker. Now, the leaker's got things right before, but the point is, the whole article is relying on a leaker that says Microsoft's getting ready to debut new handheld Xbox hardware at the showcase. And obviously this tallies with the idea that Phil Spencer has said they have been exploring different hardware form factors, implying they may evolve beyond boxes like Xbox X and S. And As I said, in fairness, in an interview with IGN after the showcase, he did say he's still interested in the concept of a handheld. But anyway, so rumours were about that there may be a handheld, but there wasn't. It was just updated hardware. Here we are. Tom Warren is confident following that interview. An Xbox handheld is happening. Phil Spencer says, I think we should have a handheld too. Again, Tom Warren, again, very definitive there. An Xbox handheld is happening. All Phil Spencer says is, yeah. Do you think you should have a... Look, hey, Phil, do you think you should have an Xbox handheld? Phil says, yeah, I think we should have one too. I think we should have one too. Yeah, why not? It's not definitive. Anyway, the rumours are still rife of a possible... Seeing what date this article is from. Yeah, so Microsoft's chief Phil Spencer has been dropping hints about potential Xbox handheld for months now. Earlier this year, he said he was a big fan of handhelds after liking posts on X that mentions the possibility of this new hardware. And now, in an interview with IGN following the Xbox showcase, I think we should have a handheld too. He's saying, yeah, well, I think we should have one. It's the biggest hint yet that Microsoft is working. It's a hint, though. It's not definitive. But it's a hint that they might be working on an Xbox handheld. The future for us in hardware is pretty awesome. The work that the team is doing around different form factors and different ways to play, is I'm incredibly excited about. Could that be some more cloud activity? We don't know. Today was about the games, but we'll have time to come out and talk more about the platform, So, as I said, if they are going to bring out handheld, they probably have a separate thing for that so that it doesn't take the shine from the games, which is, I think, this was all about, the big game announcements, Black Ops 6, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 coming to Game Pass, all of that. Right, just moving on. Let's just talk about Games of War. Gears of War. Unreal Engine 5 looks like it's going to really help the Coalition deliver with Gears of War E5. They're promising over 100 times more environment and character details than Gears 5. I thought Gears 5 looked amazing. Hardware ray trace lighting, reflections of shadows, next gen destruction and gore, and cutting edge animation technology. Wow. While that plays in the background. I still don't think Game Pass is good for the business. We'll see if it works. Yeah. Although, interestingly enough, of course, they do make a lot of money from in-game purchases. Especially on the Call of Duty games. So actually, it could be strategic that what they're thinking is, if gamers like me who've never played a Call of Duty campaign, I think I may have played one campaign many years ago. Yeah, I think I did. But generally, I don't buy the game. I'll play Warzone because it's free, but I don't buy the campaign because I don't want to pay 60, 70 quid. So for people like me, who, it's a great opportunity to play the campaign. And at the same time, if you're introducing, another million players, I mean, it's got 100 million players already or something crazy like that. If you're introducing another million players and they're making in-game transactions, then that's another way of justifying adding it to Game Pass, as well as, of course, the additional subscribers. But exactly, whether or not it moves the needle enough is a different question, and that's the decision. And I think the word is that they talked about. I think somebody from Activision came out and was saying that they had long discussions about the viability of Call of Duty coming to Game Pass, and should they, shouldn't they, and the final decision was only made very, very recently. So I think it's one of those things that even in Microsoft, it may not be clear cut, but I think they've made a decision and they've gone with it, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see whether the decision was right. It may have to be a loss leader for a while. And, they may make up some of the shortfall from in-game transactions from new players. I don't know. They're still going to be selling a shed load. I mean, the majority of sales are still on probably PlayStation anyway. So I think, we'll see in the next couple of years whether this has worked or not. Game Pass is somewhat consumer friendly at the current subscription price. It's even better when you get Game Pass and CD key sites, or the odd extra 3 months now and then, and you sort of push your next payday, your next payment date for the subscription out by a few months. They asked him if he'll be able to play offline, and he said if they had a handheld, that it would be able to play games locally, which I think it would have to. You couldn't, despite being a big campaigner for cloud gaming and stuff like that, to go mass market, you need, people want to be able to have their games downloaded. If you want to go mass market, people can't rely on the cloud as much, I think, and if you're introducing a handheld, it can't be too niche. It has to be mass market. You need to be challenging that Steam Deck market. There's a limited audience for it. So you don't want to be restricting it by saying, oh, yeah, it's just cloud gaming. I think cloud gaming will be an option on it. But, the ability to download the games and play them, I think, is going to be key for a mass market consumer product like that. I really wanted to see cloud stuff such as Cloud Direct Control and 4K upgrade. But I could see they wanted to focus on the software. Yeah, and they, as I said, he talks about when they'll talk about the hardware and the different ways to play later on. And within that, I think could be some cloud elements. So when they talk about new hardware, talk about the possible handheld, I think they also may well talk about possibly enhancing xCloud. Who knows? If they don't, then you could, they put it on the back burner, haven't they? But it's due an upgrade because Boosteroid, is now 4K in Europe. And I meant to do a review of that. Why haven't I done it? I'm behind on my videos. So look out for that. Boosteroid is now 4K. Obviously, GeForce Now Ultimate is 4K, 120 frames per second, or even 240 frames per second. I think you can play Defiant, 240 frames per second on GeForce Now Ultimate. I don't think in 4K at 240 frames per second, but definitely you can play at 240 frames per second, I think. I seem to remember in the news story for GeForce Now. But the detail, I mean, look at that detail. Oh, you can't see it. Staring at it, you lot can't see it. In his face. And this was made with the in-game engine, apparently. I mean, I love the kind of, there's a real emotional pull to the Gears 5 storytelling. The Coalition is working to recreate and improve the series' trademark third-person action, charging between cover in life or death situations, all set within an explosive campaign that combines satisfying gameplay and emotive character-led storytelling. That's what really works for me. You get the bang bang shooty shooty bit, and it does that really, really well. Yeah, big guns, big monsters, shooty shooty, marvellous. Duck and cover, great. But you also get really good storytelling, good characters that you believe in, characters you cheer for, characters you sort of don't like, and then they have a story arc, a comeuppance arc, or a turnaround arc, or you find why they're angry, and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's why it works for me. It definitely looks, from the trailer, and it is a trailer, definitely graphically enhanced, and there's still some time before we see it. So it says at the end. A completely new entry to the mainline series, set earlier in the timeline. They've still got to tie a bow on 5 and 6, haven't they? Anyway, very excited about that. But generally, word in the street, just quickly checking if there's any breaking news. No, it's all about Apple because they've got their announcement. But it's not just Xbox and oh no, we haven't done Ubisoft, have we? To be honest, though, Ubisoft. Well, I can tell you the Ubisoft one. We saw more Assassin's Creed gameplay. More in depth on that. Obviously, Star Wars Outlaws. The more I see of the gameplay of Star Wars Outlaws, the more the more I like it, the more I'm excited for it. Big open world. There's elements of Starfield to it. The ability to travel from planet to planet in your spaceship on missions of various and doing various side quests, and upping your reputation with certain factions within the Star Wars world by doing various side quests and stuff like that. And yeah, jumping from planet to planet, except you fly to the planet and you land on the planet and stuff like that. Very Starfield. Nothing wrong in that. I'm loving that. And there's elements of sort of Ubisoft gameplay in there, like your sort of Far Cry type thing. Elements to it. Bit of Assassin's Creed experience in there. Yeah. I really like the look of it, to be honest. The other thing, obviously, they showed a bit more of the Assassin's Creed game coming again. It's an Assassin's Creed game. And some new interesting techniques in there and gameplay style. The more we're seeing, it's good. As Ubisoft get closer to game launch, they show less of the beautiful cinematics for which they're very famous for, but you don't get much gameplay. They begin to show more gameplay, and that's what you really want to see on a game like Star Wars Outlaws and the Assassin's Creed titles and stuff like that. And that's what you're seeing. So, yeah. Also, Just Dance VR. Not quite sure how that's going to work, but I am intrigued. Will I be doing a video of Just Dance with the MetaQuest 3? Watch this space. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about, I know I briefly rushed over Ubisoft there. What I want to talk about is football games. A long time ago, a game called UFL was announced, and they'd obviously signed up Ronaldo to be the face of it. I don't know who else they've signed up for. But it's finally out of beta. Oh, no, it's not out of beta. So you can join the beta now. Sorry, they open it up. So they've opened up the beta to consoles. So now you can play UFL. So if you're not a fan of EA's ex-FIFA, you know, FC Sport, whatever, then you always try your hand at UFL. The beta is open. Oh, no, it's open. Oh, it's closed now. Oh, it's just the weekend. We missed that one. That's a bit disappointing. I wouldn't mind giving that a go. I was just watching on my YouTube stream, popped up an old video I did. It was a short of trying out eFootball on Boosteroid. Interestingly enough. But anyway, talking of FIFA, well, 2K has secured the official license for FIFA to create the next FIFA video game. The partnership is confirmed, and 2K will be developing a new football game series. FIFA 2K25 is set to launch this year, just in time for the FIFA World Cup 20... No, it's next year then, isn't it? Just in time for the FIFA World Cup 2K26. Really? Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I'm looking at the source, and suddenly I'm not convinced. There was rumor that 2K was going to pick up the FIFA license. You know, FIFA, of course, split with EA because FIFA just got greedy, and EA just thought, whoops, actually, I'm not sure we need FIFA anymore. I mean, the big thing at the start, when they were challenging Pro Evolution Soccer back in the day, is that they had the official FIFA license. But now, you know, 20 years later, wherever it is, the game is so well established. They've got agreements with all the players. They've got agreements with all the teams. Actually, they don't need FIFA. So when FIFA come along and say, yeah, we'll have twice as much money, please, or a bigger share of the pie, I think EA just went, what's in it for us? It's actually our game. It's our gameplay and our game that sells the game, not FIFA above the door. It's now so well established. It's the EA game itself that sells the game, not FIFA. And so FIFA shot themselves in the foot by being too greedy. So there was rumours that who could afford to, and then FIFA said, we will definitely be bringing out a football game. Definitely. But it's like, who has got a football engine that can compete with EA's football engine? Like, it has to hit the ground running. If FIFA's putting their name above the door on the title, it better work. So who else could do it? Konami can't afford to pay FIFA and stick it on, FIFA Pro Evolution. So it's not Konami. So maybe 2K was the only one that could afford it. And, they have a history of sports games. So, yeah, actually, I take back what I said. I'm not sure this is legit. And there is a context here. 2K is making a football soccer game this year, but the leaked info the source is referring to is actually about a leaked Lego game called Lego 2K Goal. According to Insider Games. When I was at Lego, we so desperately wanted to make a Lego football game. I remember my boss, who was ex-EA boss, actually, and he was saying, why don't we just give David Beckham £1 million? And, we could be David Beckham's Lego soccer. Like, we're just thinking big. Anyway, so there we are. Take it back. This is a load of rubbish. Don't believe what you read on the web. Although UFL is legit. The people behind UFL were trying to make, the football game they want to play, which is surely what everybody wants to make, and not be tied to EA and FIFA all the time. There we go. Let me just check something quickly for you. So let's just, because I don't think I did Ubisoft justice there. But in fairness, they didn't really announce anything significant or new, did they? I sort of whizzed through it because I had to prepare for the show. So, new Star Wars Outlaws gameplay revealed, as I said. And the more gameplay I see, the more I'm excited about it. Oh, yes. The big thing, and it not until 2026, was Prince of Persia. Oh, I don't want a mattress. Teaser. Of course, it's a teaser, so no gameplay here. And it's not coming till 2026. But Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Again, I remember playing it on the PlayStation 2, I want to say. Yeah. Remake. From the ground up. 2026. A long way to go. But that's probably the biggest announcement I think they made. Although it's just a teaser. Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay, so more of a deep dive, and again, looks really good. Anno 117 Pax Romana. DLC for Prince of Persia. DLC for Avatar. And more X-Defiant season. Now, actually, talking of games I've been playing, I have been playing a lot of X-Defiant. It's a lot of fun. I've been playing it on the Xbox. I haven't yet played it on GeForce Now Ultimate. And Skull of Bones and Crewfest. So, actually, when you compare it, I mean, I know, it's different, right? I'm comparing apples and pears here. But you compare it with Xbox Showcase and the amount of new games. There's no new games that they really announced. Mostly DLC. And obviously showcasing the gameplay for the Assassin's Creed and for Star Wars Outlaw, which was great. But overall, I think following so soon after Xbox Showcase, I think it's a bit of a letdown, if I'm honest. But then again, what were we expecting from Ubisoft Forward? We sort of got slightly blown out of the water by Xbox kind of full-on games announcements. That anything that followed that, is going to be slightly disappointing in, IMO. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2K does a fantastic job with sports titles. I can't believe the cost of the FIFA license. Yeah, there's a great video I saw on YouTube somebody made about, the whole sort of history of EA and FIFA and then the split. And it's quite interesting. And they sort of hit the nail on the head that actually, FIFA's greed has meant they've gone and sort of shot themselves in the foot because, as I said, EA don't need FIFA to sell their game. I mean, the game, by all accounts, EAFC has sold just as much, as I understand, as any FIFA game. So you don't need the FIFA branding. So what when FIFA come along saying, yeah, let's up the we want more of the back end of the games, more share, because you make so much money on it, EA. We want more of that money. No. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Exciting week, for it is E3 week, as it were, the week that was traditionally E3. I'm sure there's more game announcements, to be made. So from a few Japanese companies have made some big announcements recently as well. So yeah, it's exciting times. I mean, the only disappointing thing about Xbox is that we have to wait for a lot of those games. Some we have to wait till next year. Some probably we only have to wait for this year, but they just haven't got a date on them. But I imagine the majority of those games showcased will be coming towards the end of this year. And if so, it's going to be a complete game fest, isn't it? A game Nami, a game tsunami, a game army. That's what it's going to be. Anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my sort of rundown of all the exciting announcements. A bit chaotic as ever. But I just thought there's so much gaming news that I would bring it to you. Apologies for not being here last week. I have been working hard on my house and garden and just needed some me time. So allow me to indulge myself now and then. But I'm back, baby. I'm back. With all the latest gaming news. So please do join me same time, same place next week. Domo arigato for joining me this week. I really, really appreciate it. Have a wonderful gaming week. Of course, look out for the GeForce Now news later this week. And I'll see you very, very soon. Arigato! Sayonara. What do I do now? Oh, yes, outro. My mind went blank there. Thanks, everybody. It's appreciated.
Watching the Monday Game Chat with your host, Clive Illenden.
I just can't. You've been watching with me. Express enough. Hit that like, share around, and don't forget subscribe. I just can't. You've been watching, keep on watching, oh please.
The live. I just